Welcome to Taekwondo Fury, everyone. Today, I'm very excited because today we're going to watch Dae-hoon put on a masterclass of how to fight taller opponents against Saul Gutierrez from Mexico. So this is going to be a great video to watch if you're a little bit shorter or you're going up against taller opponents frequently on the regular. And even if you're not short, right, you could still take key elements from this fight. So let's jump into this. This is going to be from a while back. I watched this fight when I was growing up and I learned a lot. So we're going to be able to take pointers from this whole match. Over here, Dae-hoon, he's just about, I think, around 183, 4 centimeters. And over here, Saul Gutierrez, he's got to be like maybe 190, 195. So there's a big height difference. We're starting off with some front leg, right? Dae-hoon is creating an angle. Throws out a cut. Gutierrez, he times like a nice punch right there.
Not accurate enough to score for the judges. A definite early sign of his intent. Strong check.
So we have some good motion by Dae-hoon, right? He's stepping in, out, throwing fakes, right? He's switching up the angle. So at the start, he threw an appa, then he throws a cut, then he switches up the height of his kick.
Stumbled by Gutierrez, will get him a kyungo.
We got just about a minute 20 left. Gutierrez takes the kyungo, right? Because I want to go over this. At this time in the Taekwondo game, there was kyungos and there's kamchums. A kyungo would be a half minus point, okay? So if you see over here by the scoreboard, he's got that yellow card, right? If he gets one more kyungo, that's gonna give Dae-hoon 1 point.
Check again by Dae-hoon.
So Dae-hoon is really playing with the distance here. He's coming in, out, giving fakes. He's making it hard for Gutierrez to find his distance and find his length. If you watched, Dae-hoon is tapping up the body, okay? So he's going to the body multiple times. Tries to throw a tight cut, inverted, right? And because of that, Gutierrez is used to it, and then he brings up an axe kick. And if you watch this axe kick, right, it follows the shoulder line. So what do I mean by that? The arc isn't going to be too wide. He's keeping it nice and tight, right? So if Gutierrez comes into him, he's able to bring it up nice and tight and be able to hit it. But if he leans back, he's also able to extend. So watch the arc of this kick and also how he chambers, okay? That's the reason he's able to score this headshot or tap that headshot. He gets another kyungo.
No, he's saying nice score the headshot. He's encouraging his
So
coach
Dae-hoon
to
eats
feel
that point.
His coach doesn't seem to be willing to sacrifice a card at this early stage.
Works off that front leg into a back leg.
So his second kyungo means he's got a point ahead.
And good scramble to the left. So Dae-hoon, he's not keeping it completely linear. He's still using some angles. Uses his footwork to slide out of the distance.
So Dae-hoon lead
twist kick, covers and uses the appa. Again, goes back to that front leg axe kick, right? Scores it or throws it nice and tight, and then pushes on the inside and uses the momentum from the motion going forward to throw a lefty. Neither of them score, but it's a real good play, or he's giving himself some good opportunities. Also, again, I want you to watch how tight he squeezes in that front leg axe kick, because I've seen or I've heard from you guys, right? How do I score my axe kicks? You got to be able to squeeze it in nice and tight, okay? So the chamber, you want that knee nice and close and flush with your chest, with your leg bent, so then that way, if they come in, right, and you got to be able to have good flexibility, but if they come in, you can squeeze it nice and tight. If they stay there, you extend. If they move back, you could pump and float. Okay, and that's the reason that Dae-hoon, even though Gutierrez is so much taller than him, he's able to catch him. So this is really important to have a tight chamber with that axe kick, especially if you're fighting someone taller.
So Dae-hoon asking his coach to play the video.
Okay, so he does a twist, appa, so there's 2 angles to the body, and then goes up to the head, and then goes back to the body. Throws offbeat cut, and if you watch this, right, he's switching up the angles that he's throwing at Gutierrez every time.
So goes in right headshot. As Gutierrez defends it, then he cuts to left.
Right now, body shots are 1, so he was able to score that body shot, right, and give him another point.
Goes for his own headshot.
Good punch. Okay, so Dae-hoon, right? He's keeping the pressure on Blue. Blue gets close to the corner, and Dae-hoon knows he gonna want to come in, so he sets up that punch as he's coming in. He doesn't have to do too much work because he knows the exact timing and the distance, right? So he assesses the situation and then boom, puts in the right key to the answer.
Goes for his own headshot. Tries the punch, not convincing. Dae-hoon Lee now 3 points in the lead. As we come to the end of this first round.
Right, so nice first round, right? We're gonna finish at 3-0. And this is going to be, since it's from a while back, right? 2015 in Mexico. This is going to be not best of out of 3. It's going to be accumulative points. So that means that at the end of each round, it's not a reset. It's going to accumulate, and whoever has the most points at the end of the 3 rounds is going to be the winner. That's why we didn't see a lot of aggression from Blue, because he doesn't have to win this round, okay? Again, due to this, both fighters are kind of using this first and this second round to kind of gauge each other out. And then at this time in the Taekwondo sparring game, right, the 3rd round was where most of the action is going to go down. All right, so let's jump into the 2nd round right here. Dae-hoon moving to his left, pulls out just enough to be able, right, to miss that headshot, but he gets scored on when he throws that back leg. Gutierrez, right, he was reading that Dae-hoon, he's been throwing his back lefty, right? So after Gutierrez puts his front leg down, right, he scores a good back kick to the face. So that hit the head, gives him 3, and then he's looking for that extra technical point. We're going to watch that one more time. It's a good play by Gutierrez, right? Because this is good. When we're talking about how to set up a back kick, right, you got to be able to not just throw it and not just react, okay? So you don't want to just say, oh, I want to kick a back kick, so let me throw it. Or, oh, I want to set up a jumping back kick, so let me wait for them to attack. You got to be proactive. So you got to create the situation where they're going to be influenced to attack, and then you already had the counter in your mind and you're just ready to throw that trigger, okay? So let's watch that. Comes in with that front leg. Knows that Dae-hoon is going to do that, and then he throws the tight back kick right away. Okay, so he gets that extra point.
Over the top of the shoulder there. Strong check by Dae-hoon Lee. And again, holding by Gutierrez.
Gutierrez gets called for holding when he was going for that punch.
Now spotted by the referee. Crowd shouting, but Dae-hoon Lee.
Okay, nice cut to the hip.
Equalizes.
Front leg hook.
Gutierrez goes high. Plays a video review.
Gutierrez thinks he scored that kick, so they're going to go to the video replay. Let's watch that together right here. Boom. Oh, I see a nice flick to the face. Okay. Dae-hoon, he does a nice reaction with that front leg hook kick. Turns and spins, right? But he's not ready, and Gutierrez is able to take advantage of that opportunity. Okay. That's accepted, so he's going to get those 3 points for the headshot. 7-4 Gutierrez.
Goes up high again. No impact that time. Lee tries his own headshot.
Okay, so Dae-hoon is doing a good job of being able to keep his body back and get his front leg up first, okay? So as a shorter fighter, you got to be able, right, to use your front leg, but you don't want to keep your body or your head too close or in range of the taller fighter, because they're able to flick your head. So Dae-hoon is doing good by leaning back and keeping his head far away.
Keeping,
scores that body shot, 7-5.
He's shooting off that left leg. And again.
Nice hand block right here, okay? So it's very important to develop your defensive skills. So when we talking about defensive skills, right, we got our front leg cancel, front hand blocking, right? We also have our clinch blocking. Dae-hoon knows that these headshots are coming up, right? And especially with Gutierrez's length and his, I wouldn't say he's awkward, but he does have a specific timing of himself. So Dae-hoon, he has to make sure that he's careful on the inside or careful on the way in, and he does just that. And if he didn't have his hand there, he would have gotten scored on him, right? So he does a nice left hand block right here. Watch that again. Right here, okay? So that's negated.
Well,
keeps the pressure.
Just clawing the points back. Tries the back kick.
Gutierrez tries to throw that same combo where he throws that back kick, right? Doesn't score.
Dae-hoon keeps working off the front then.
Okay, so that's the end of round 2. We have 7-5 right now. I want you guys to watch maybe like the last, let's say about 20 seconds. So if you see these last 20 seconds, Dae-hoon, he's keeping Gutierrez in the corner. Gutierrez, he's having a hard time finding his balance, finding his timing. And that's what you want to be able to do when you're fighting these taller fighters. So up until the last second, he's keeping him in the corner. And we finish out round 2, 7-5. Let's get into this last round over here. And as I said earlier, right, with the accumulative point ranking or the point system, right, round 3 in these old school matches is going to be where most of the action is. So I feel like there's a lot of stuff we could learn right here. Again, watch where both fighters are. Dae-hoon is doing his best to try and keep him in the corner.
Twisting kick by Dae-hoon, goes up for the headshot, pulls it back, great work. No points, holding now, warning for Dae-hoon.
Okay, again, he's kicking first, getting that front leg out, nice. Some motion here, right?
So checks in off the front leg, goes high off
Good block over here.
Brings the left leg into play, twists off the front leg. You see the left leg goes up for the headshot.
Okay, so if you watch, he just switched the angle. He pumps his front leg twice with the axe, and he has enough hip strength to switch the angle and then bring it down for a flip. That hit right there, right? But Dae-hoon's coach, he doesn't want to risk losing his card in case it doesn't go through. Okay, so he's switching up the angle. Up by a twist, bring it, pump over twice, hits the flip, still throws the back leg after. And if you watched, the majority of the kicks being thrown in this match is by Dae-hoon, right? And Dae-hoon, he doesn't look tired here anyway, either. So you got to be, as the shorter fighter, throwing a higher volume of kicks to give yourself the most chances. And then also you got to have a real good gas tank so that way you're able to stay sharp and stay ready throughout the whole round. Because we got to be able to overload our taller opponents with not only volume, but also precision, and then also our stamina, because we want to make it really hard for them. We want to keep them on their back leg. We want to keep them not being able to get their footing, not being able to get their timing. And then also, if we're able to make them tired and we're able to feel good, then the match for us shorter fighters is going to be that much easier. If you guys want to work on your gas tank, I do have a gas tank module in my Taekwondo Fury Institution, so you could go check that out.
Lee gets through. Right leg check, twisting, left leg in. You can see this.
Right, so we've got just about a minute left right here.
By Dae-hoon, and it did work for him at the end of that second round. Gutierrez tries a punch. Can Lee go high with his left leg?
Is trying out different angles.
Off his front right leg, and then bring the left leg to the body. That's what
he keeps up the volume, right? And watch, if you look at Gutierrez, right, he's not looking fresh. He's looking tired. And not only is he looking tired, he keeps losing his footing, losing his balance, because Dae-hoon is switching up the distance, switching up the timing, using fakes, switching up the angles, right? So he's not just doing one angle every time. He floats it. Sometimes he kicks a little bit slower, right? Sometimes he brings it up one way and then flips it down the other, twists it, appa, right? He's got all of these tricks in his bag that he's throwing to make it hard to block and also hard to shut it down. And it's giving Gutierrez a real hard time. So even though Dae-hoon is down, right now, the atmosphere in this ring is belonging to Dae-hoon. So he got the momentum.
And it did work for him at the end of that second round.
So Gutierrez, right, look, see he's kind of like walking out, trying to pull out, right?
He go high with his left leg, high off his front right leg.
Trying to come back in, losing his footing. So this is looking good for Dae-hoon.
Takes the left leg high. Well into the last minute. Gutierrez, can he hold on? Dae-hoon Lee, can he get it back? Goes to the punch.
Nice punch. Just about 25 seconds left right here.
Dae-hoon Lee goes high. Just out. Congo.
Use the lefty to the body and then switches up the angle. Lefty to the face. Gutierrez is gassed right here.
This is the match we
Taking his
wanted.
time to step up. Takes the Congo, right?
20 seconds, 21 seconds on the clock.
So right now it's
Lee gets that
7-7.
left leg point to the body. Holding by Gutierrez. He gets that left leg point to the body. He gets kicked down. Warning against Gutierrez, not Lee. 9 seconds, tied score. Counting down. Lee comes off the left. Lee's still working. Can Gutierrez keep him away? That's it, golden point.
All right. So at the end of these 3 rounds, if it's the same score in this scoring
is a
system,
golden point
it's going
match.
to sudden death. So it's the
Actually,
first
a
person to
highlight.
score is going to win this match.
Are those headshots, and can he do that now? Gutierrez high.
Okay.
leaves the
He
body.
doesn't want to get touched,
Let's see
right?
what
Because he doesn't
happens.
want to run the chance of getting scored on.
Gutierrez is coming
good
out
footwork,
more
change the
aggressive. Lee
angle.
goes to the body. Lee goes high.
Tries the front leg axe again.
Body shot. Gutierrez comes
Off
to
beat
the
back
counter
leg.
high. There we go. Dae-hoon Lee.
And if you watch over here, right, he's able to score right there with his cut. Okay? So what I want you guys to take from this, right, it's kind of like anticlimactic. So it's like, oh, you expected him to do something crazy to be able to pull this match. No, he sticks to the basics and he's able to place that cut where it needed to be at the right time. And as a shorter fighter especially, right, for all fighters, but as a shorter fighter especially, you got to make sure that you don't let the pressure get to you and you're able to still pick the right shots and not get too anxious. You don't want to be rushing in, right? We saw that Dae-hoon, he kept the pressure and he kept the volume up the whole fight, but there was never a moment where he was just rushing in recklessly. At the end, right, the last round, the sudden death round, right, he doesn't want to run the risk of getting tapped. So instead of canceling, he used a little bit more of footwork, a little bit more of angling, right? But he knows that since Gutierrez is a long leg fighter, he's going to use his front leg. He doesn't want to just rush in, okay? So he's using fakes, using baits. He tries an offbeat back leg, doesn't score it, and then he sees that Gutierrez is coming in, and he's able to put his front leg in the right place at the right time while keeping his body back, and that's what gives him the W in this fight, okay? So key pointers, I'm going to go over one more time as a shorter fighter. I want you guys to be able to keep up your pressure during the majority of the fight. Unless you're in a winning situation and there's like maybe 10 or 5 seconds left, right? Then you cover up, cut up, and you can step out. But if it's not that situation, you want to be able to keep the pressure on the other fighter the majority of the fight. Number 2, you got to have a good gas tank and good stamina so you could be throwing a higher volume of kicks than your opponent, but still have a better gas tank than them. So by the end of the fight, if you're throwing more kicks and the other person is gassed, then that lets you know that you're doing a good job. You're doing the right things as you should as a shorter fighter to give yourself the best chances. And then number 3 is, as a shorter fighter, a lot of times, right, it's understandable and it's going to happen that you get flicked or you get touched or you get tapped. And it doesn't feel good because you're doing all this work, you're doing footwork, you're doing fakes, you're throwing a lot of volume, but boom, it doesn't score, you get tapped once in the head, and now you're down 3-0, right? So a lot of times with these shorter fighters, they get tapped, and before that they were doing a good job, but now, 20 seconds left, 15 seconds left, I need to score my points, run in, and that's when you get scored with a cut. That's when you get scored with an up bar to the face or an axe to the face, and then that 3-point lead turns into a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-point lead, and it becomes progressively harder. So you have to remind yourself to stay disciplined, stay calm, and not rush in, even if you're in a position where it's a high pressure and you have to score, okay? So take those 3 pointers from this fight and then try to apply that to your next game against a taller opponent.